you got the RZA from the almighty Wu-Tang Clan.
Got mathematics right here.
And yo, this is 030, popping live, a real magazine doing what they do, and Wu-Tang is here forever. Bong!
Family.
Since the beginning, or were you?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it was always a brotherhood bond there. It's like, you know, even certain brothers that I didn't know prior to the clan. You know, I knew RZA prior to the clan. You know, I knew GZA. I met Ghost and Ray with RZA, like, you know, prior in the beginning of this, and you know, just our interaction, I was able to see, and just from my brother to see, like, oh, okay, yeah, those are my likes. Like, you know, when you have a certain bond with brothers off top, and just like even like from as I start meeting other brothers, and yeah, you start to see that, you know, we have a lot of things in common, and a bond grows, and then you really get to know each other. So yeah, definitely by now, if it ain't family by now, it never was.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Wu-Tang has always been family. I'm a common denominator to the Wu. Whereas if everybody didn't know each other, everybody knew me. I guess that's why I was blessed with being the abbot, which has its great days and bad days, right?
Yeah.
But you know, me and Old Dirty, GZA, cousins growing up in New York City. GZA being my big cousin, taking me to hip hop block parties. But me being a very fanatic type, very scientifical mind, you know, always looking for the next level of things. You know, like when I first learned how to MC, like when first I heard GZA do it, I mean, I heard somebody do it in a block party, and then I heard GZA have a lyric, and then I would repeat his lyric, right? I'm only 8 years old at the time,
Yeah.
and I'm just saying whatever he said. But then at the age of 9, I wrote my first rhyme.
Okay. So first copying and then bring it to the next level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I started writing at the age of 9, by the time I was 11, I had over 400 lyrics. And my cousin Old Dirty, he didn't have one yet.
Yeah.
So I would give him my lyrics, you know what I mean? But the thing that's crazy was that, like I said, the fanatic personality that I have, the yearning to find bigger expression,
Yeah.
has always permeated me. And when it came time to, you know, become Wu-Tang, you know, I had a common denominator to the crew, but I also had a idea that each one of them was very special and unique. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, I will seek you out. I will seek out, you know, Allah Math drew the logo, but I went to him for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know he was drawing, I know he was doing graffiti, I know he was a DJ, but I went to him specifically to draw the Wu-Tang logo. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The impact was right off top. I remember when I first got Protect Your Neck, I was DJing at a club in Queens, Southside Queens. It was like it's on Liberty Ave, right by the Van Wyck. They didn't change the name so many times. Yeah, it's one of them spots. It's
right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like what was the name of it then? Like, it's still there to this day, but they didn't hooked it up now. It's like a sports bar and everything now. But back then, yeah, it's like it was real grimy type of place. You know what I mean? And I was DJing there, and that was the first place I had just got the vinyl, and I said, I'm gonna try it right here. I played it because I thought it was dope, and when I played it, I seen the reaction of the people on the floor, and one of my family members was there, one of my cousins. And she was a female, and she came up to me like, yo, what is that? And I was like, yo, this that new shit. I was like, you gonna see, right? Protect Your Neck. And yeah, so the impact, yeah, I seen right off the back, like, yeah, this is, you know, and just hearing the music, you know, beforehand, I knew it was something special. It's like, I remember coming out to Staten Island and hearing joints going back around the way, telling cats, you know, who thought they was nice, like, nah, wait till you hear my dude Method Man. They're like, Method, what? It's like, yeah, all right. It's like, you gonna see me? I was like, watch. Yeah, but the past definitely influences me because that's like what made me who I am today. So it was definitely an influence there, and I just wanted to really lock into, really lock into me and what I was doing, like musically, just trying to grow, develop with my music, you know, get it to progress, but still stay true to the roots which I came from.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was definitely a big influence. And in fact, so much of an influence was before I really started this project. That was one of the last. I listened to 2 albums, and that was one of the albums. And after I listened to that album, Into the 36 Chambers, I didn't listen to no more music. The only thing I listened to was what I was working on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely an influence. But yeah, mentor,
Or family,
teacher.
yeah,
I learned a lot from RZA over the years. Like more than just music too.
Yeah.
Like if you hang around a brother like this, you're gonna pick up a lot on just life in general. So yeah.
And we come from a background of each one teach one.
Okay, yeah.
So it's important.
So you're not closed and said, okay, that's mine, and
Nah,
go
man.
away.
Nah.
So you have to do
You know, a lot of people ask me also, like, how do you let go and let another brother step in the shoes? You know what I mean? And that's because I have enough knowledge of myself to recognize that, yo, hold on, this brother hand is hot. Pass him the ball. Pass him the ball. Some people don't never want to pass the ball. They keep trying to take the shot themselves and keep missing. I have enough knowledge of myself to know when it's time to pass the ball, and also enough appreciation of the development that I've watched mathematics go through. You know what I mean? Not only as a DJ, as a producer, and also as a man. You know what I mean? And you know, the cool thing about this album is that it started with him just creating music, like no predetermined outcome. You know what I mean? And I think that's important, and that could be something that we forgot as artists, that music starts from just creating and fun. It's no objective.
So the cultural, creative process, and not just the commercial thing.
I could call you up and be like, yo, I got $10,000, come give me a verse, and you'll come and smoke your weed, and now you're going to work.
Yeah.
But what if you just hear a beat that you just heard, and you go, yo, what's that? Oh, I got something for that. That's different. Let me give you one analogy real quick. I wasn't there, of course, but I heard that when Dr. Dre first recorded Eminem, according to the press I read, that they did like maybe, I don't know if it was 3 or maybe even 5 songs in one day. Because he came in, he heard the beats of a master, and he was inspired, and he just had lyrics, and they just melded them together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because of that kind of energy, he becomes one of the greatest. You know what I mean? And Wu-Tang was the same. People would come to my house and hear the music, smoke their little weed, and start spitting their lyrics. And this album kind of went back to that same formula. No, I was super trusted. Super trusted. Wu-Tang had, agreed to let me control our career for the first 5 years without question.
Okay.
We made an agreement, a word, gave each other the word that I asked for 5 years, and I promised to take us to #1. And that was 1992 before we put out the first album. And in 1997, guess who was #1? But the point I'm making to you is, by telling you that, is that, it takes focus to get to a certain level, right? And I had that focus. So it's true that when I've made the first album, they heard songs as they was making them, but a producer stays in the studio, He gets there before the artist, he stays there during the artist, and when the artist goes home, he's still there.
Yeah.
He's still working on the craft. And in that case of that first album, Pro Tools was new. Look, you couldn't find Pro Tools. I had to find a studio called Magic Studios down in the Canal Street area that had a Pro Tools, because I now had to take this ball of creativity and mold it. And I did it. And when I played it for the first time for the Wu-Tang Clan, they was like, that's that shit. That's that shit, yo. And that began a fire. And then you go to this album, Wu-Tang, the saga continues. It's the same thing. Mathematics was able to get our verses on a song I Am called Wah Wah Wah. Yeah, I spent about 3 hours in the studio doing my verse, but he spent 20 hours making it a song. You know what I mean? That's the process.
Yeah.
Confidence is what I had supreme. I had supreme confidence. I knew for a fact that what I was doing was revolutionary to what other people was doing, because I've been in the hip hop industry. I've seen other albums. I've seen what other guys done. I knew that, you know what? I think I have the best MCs on the planet right now.
Yeah.
I really had that assurity. Now, I want, you know, confidence, even if confidence is blind, it's good. It's like when Mike Tyson used to come in the ring and he'd go, I'm the greatest, I'm the best, no man could beat me, no man could defeat me. And you know what? He proved that 30 times. Now, of course, the time come when you know, that runs out. You know what I mean? But in that age right there, I always tell young people, I tell my son, who's 22, he's 22, I have a 22-year-old son now. And I tell him,
What is he doing?
He's in Berkeley.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Studying.
Yeah, studying. But I tell him the same thing, like, yo, when you get 23, you're gonna have an energy in you. And if you start your energy path then, by the time you're 25, you'll start to see your footprint. And that's what happened to us. We started around the age of 23 as far as supreme focus. And by the time we was 25, we was platinum and changing the world.
Hard for your son to copy it. It's, I don't know.
He won't do the same thing. He'll do his own thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be.
But he has a better start. So.
Oh, he has a better start, yeah.
Yeah.
He has a great start.
I had all the liberties, and he entrusted it within me, and I was just on a mission. You know, it's something I had started, something that I had a passion to complete, and I wanted to complete it. And once I did, you know, even when I got like close to a certain point, and I felt like it's right there, but it ain't. It's something. You know, I came to the Abbott like, yo, it's right there. I had to get, you know, give me your ear. Tell me what you hear. And he heard. He gave me his notes, and I took that back, did everything, and when I was done, this is what came out, and that's what it needed.
So yeah, great cover.
No, physically, we miss ODB tremendously, and his energy can never be replaced. Fortunately, he left some energy behind in the form of music, words, and speaking. And on this album, on the song that's called If What You Say Is True, we hear his message. And his message, once again, even though he said it years ago, it's on time. It's on time.
Nice, thank you very much.
Mehr im Netz auf www.berlin030.de und auf den sozialen Portalen.